So finally, Alice had finished climbing the three mountains, and it was finally time for her to work. However, as the real working environment was very different from the mountain experience, Alice needed to go through one more preparation, the transition. The animals in transition would be in the same workplace as the other animals, except that they would be doing some very light task so that they could fully have the time to gradually adjust to the new working environment and become fully ready to work. Alice decided to do her transition in the Ant Kingdom because she had been homesick for a very long time. She had been missing her family, her friends, her favorite food, especially during the time when she was in the Mouse Kingdom. So Alice started looking for places in the Ant Kingdom where she could do her transition. And finally, she got accepted by a lodge in the Ant Kingdom. The name of the lodge was Home Sweet Home. It was a place where visitors from the other kingdoms could stay, sleep, and have food while they were in the Ant Kingdom, as they didn't have their own house there, obviously. Alice was very excited about this new place. She thought, wow, this lodge looks so cool. I'm going to meet visitors from other kingdoms and meet plenty of new friends. However, the task assigned to Alice was to sit in a box and write down all the food items available that day in the lodge for the visitors, such as bananas, rice, honey, sunflower seeds, cheese cubes, etc. And whenever Alice would be done, finished writing, another ant would come and take these food item list and distribute them to the visitors. So Alice actually never got to see the visitors. Moreover, the instruction was for Alice to write 50 food item list per day, for one for each visitor. So Alice actually needed to write the same food item list 50 times every day. After a while, Alice started getting annoyed of doing the same thing every day. So she started talking to other ants and she asked them what's the use of writing 50 times the same list every day. Sometimes there are only 20 visitors. And moreover, I can just write only one food list and paste it in the front door. And any visitor who would want to check the food available could just have a look at the front door. What's the use of writing 50 times and making 50 food item lists? The other ants told her, well, just follow the rules. No need to think too much. You're here to work. You're not here to make sense of the work. The rules must have been designed for some reason, and you're not here to understand. You just have to know that the reward of you working here would be 2 big packs of rice. So, just do your work. But Alice found very, very difficult to do her work. On top of like the boring and repetitive aspect, Alice couldn't find any meaning in her work. She felt like her work didn't matter to the lodge or to the visitors. She thought, I'm here or I'm not here. What's the difference? Even if I'm not here, the visitors could just ask any other animal that was working in the lodge to know about the available food items today. So what's the use of my work? And Alice was so frustrated that she started even missing the time when she was climbing the mountains. At least she was seeing different sceneries every day. At least she was learning some climbing techniques every day. But here she was, just sitting in a box of this lodge, doing the same thing over and over again without ever learning anything new. Alice felt like she was becoming a robot and slowly dying inside. Nothing about this work excited her. Time went by very slowly, and she was just very anxious for this transition to come to an end. She kept counting the days. And she kept looking forward for the big day, the final day, when this transition would end and she could finally leave this hell. So this time, Alice would like to share with you a song in the mouse language to voice out her discontent about the lack of freedom in her work, as well as her unwillingness to conform and be a robot. Pourquoi je vis? Pourquoi je meurs? Pourquoi je ris? Pourquoi je pleure? Voici le SOS d'un terrien en détresse. J'ai jamais eu les pieds sur terre. J'aimerais être un oiseau. J'ai mal dans ma peau. Je voudrais voir le monde à l'envers. Si jamais c'était plus beau vu d'en haut, d'en haut. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the song, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next part of the story. Bye!